on at the moment, the journey you are on at the moment is a journey where you have to make a lot of development, a lot of progress. Um, and in most cases, most people think that this journey, it's only once I have the CV, then I'm done, or once I have the once I have the um, once I have gone through one interview session, then I'm done, or once. So it's not that, right? It's a continuous process. It's a continuous engagement. Hi, Martin. Welcome. It's a continuous process, a continuous engagement, and it requires you to then participate and be involved as much as possible within the same structure and framework, right? So whenever you get to have any of the requests as part of your program, which we also get to track, I'm going to quickly show you. For instance, when you come on to the assessment that you are to consume next are supposed to be these two. And these also help us and allow us to model the next conversations and the next sessions and structures in which we would then want to provide you with more intervention. And each of those interventions are meant to support you within your particular development, within your particular growth. And that's how we work around that. So there are some that you were already supposed to take. If you've taken that, then great, you're already on your way to the development and what is needed with that regard. And the ones that you haven't, take your time and then just go and take that, right? The other thing is with the resources, you will see that a prescription for us will often tell you, go and consume this resource, go and consume the other resource. And that is based on what we look at completing and completion of engagement on your side. However, it is very much open for you to just go and grab any whenever we add, or whenever you feel like you've got one area that you would like to improve or work on, right? So make sure you utilize the space as much as possible for your own discovery and your own development. So we've got my business partner, today, who is going to be taking us through the session. And I really would like you guys to comfortably engage and ask questions. Feel free to just ensure that you are asking as much question as possible as he goes through the program. It will be an interesting program, not going through um, a lot, but going through very meaningful conversation and content. Okay, so he will introduce himself and we will then get started. Cool. Jafta, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Good evening, everyone. My name is Japta Mashadola, industrial and organizational psychologist. I've been in this business of understanding human behavior within the working environment, having to work with careers, change of careers, change of job roles and stuff like that for more than a decade. So I'm quite honored to session with you. because I know you are also interested. I know you are looking forward to, how can I best position myself within this ever-changing world of work, within this fourth industrial revolution where everything is just changing, every now and then. So I am going to be taking you through the presentation in terms of career agility in action. But the most important thing is how can you navigate change, that is career change, with confidence and clarity. Because I mean, it's a common reality that we are living in a world where everything is changing fast, and we are expected to keep abreast with the change. There are a lot of expectations from your side. There are a lot of expectations from prospective employers to say this is the type of person we're expecting. But I'm not so much sure in terms of your expectations, and I'd really like to hear maybe one or two of you in terms of what could be your expectation from your employer. Let's talk. What is it that you might expect if you are choosing a future employer? Anyone? Yes, you can in the chat. If you were to choose an organization to work for, what is it that you will expect from your employer? What type of an employer are you looking for? Let's hear. Anyone? All right. Well, that's the question that I want you to keep in mind, to say sometimes an employer organization they know the type of a person they are expecting. But the question that we also need to ask ourselves is, do we know the type of a person, a type of employee or future employee to be? Which means, do we have the skills, knowledge, abilities, and other characteristics that distinguish, that set us apart from an employer, other employees? So that is a question that you need to ask yourself. However, with this presentation, by the time we're done with this presentation, and I hope you completed the survey on the MindCiti builder. I hope you completed the assessment, because it will give you clarity in terms of where are you currently and what is it that you need to do to reposition yourself. So that's where I'm going. Right. So sorry, I think I got disconnected. I don't know what happened. Right. Let's look at the world of work. Currently, we are aware that the workforce is now global, which means you need to reposition yourself. You need to have a skill set where you can be able to work globally, where you can interact with employers, employees worldwide. The employers can now hire the talent across the world, meaning there is an increase in competition, meaning you need to ask yourself the questions that I've been asking you to state, to what an extent do I have the skills that is required? To what an extent am I competitive across the globe, the global sphere? So you need to be flexible. You need to be aware which soft skills, which skills are critical out there. So we move into a hybrid, or what we call the remote working, where it means there is a need for self-career management. You need to be technology savvy. You need to constantly work on yourself in terms of the skills that are needed. You need to conduct research and study the type of qualifications that are going to position you quite good out there. So sometimes it's not an easy thing to do, because with that you need to have self-knowledge. And we find ourselves in a situation where you're asking yourself the question, but why did I study this career? Why did I study this field of study? Why did I choose it? Because I feel like I failed. So what is important is the careers they fail. If you as an individual, you struggle to stay productive and you struggle to become visible to the global world. So it means, what is it that you need to do? You need to market yourself. You need to make yourself so attractive to the global markets. Well, the question that I'd like to ask you is, what can we do? You and I, what can we do now that we know we are global? Now that we know we need to have a certain skill set, where is that starting point? We need to start somewhere. So, which brings us to the next slide, and I'm going to take you through the type of things that you need to start. We're going to look at the first thing, which is why careers fail. Why do the careers fail? And also keep in touch with reality in terms of what are the impact of the technology, globalization, as well as the remote work trends. And one thing for sure that we need to develop, as a matter of fact, to reposition ourselves is what we call career agility. That is the ability, developing the ability to respond proactively to the global world, to the skills that are required in order for one to become productive and efficient in the world of work. And I'm also going to be taking you through those three types of career agility, and we look at the assessment results. Please make sure that you take a snapshot or you just made notes in terms of what your results are saying, the ones that you completed on MindCiti Build. Right. So you might agree with me when I say careers often fail. Sometimes you find yourself in a career where you ask yourself so many questions. Why did I choose this study field? Why am I here? Why am I struggling to find a job? But in school, I was an A student, but why does it seem so difficult? But the reality is, at times, academic performance is not a good predictor, or should I say the best predictor of actual job performance. So which means the careers, they often fail due to one's inability to adapt, to become agile to the changes in the work environment. But now we need to also become mindful of what are those key drivers of this failure. What is it that one needs to know? What is it that I need to adapt in terms of? Well, there are three key drivers that you need to remain career agile. The first one is the technological disruption. Technological disruption is now the outcome of someone who struggle to become technologically agile. So you experience your career fail because of technological disruptions. That is when you don't update your technological skills, you don't keep up with in terms of what is happening in the market, the new inventions. Maybe sometimes you struggle to use those type of technologies. The other one is globalization, where the reality is the workforces are now globally expected to work across the globe. So if you are not competitive, you are not flexible enough, you don't have the skills to remain relevant, to remain competitive in the world of work out there, then it becomes a challenge for you to secure employment, be it remote or not. Then the other one is remote work trends. So you need to be able to keep abreast in terms of, should I be required to work remotely? Do I have the skills? Do I understand the software? Do I understand what is required for me to be able to stay productive and be visible? So one of the things that MindCiti provide is your public visibility. We help you in terms of setting up your profile, being visible to the global world there, being visible in terms of some the type of skill set that sets you apart from there. So those are the three key drivers that determine the extent to which your career is likely to fail or to succeed. So if you've got any question in terms of that, please type it in the chat or raise your hand so that we can attend to that. So these key drivers, if you don't attend to them, you are most likely to experience what we call career stagnation. That is the degree to which one feels stuck, the degree to which one questions the type of skill set they possess, the type of knowledge and characteristics the characteristics required to compete elsewhere. So the key here is, how do I remain abreast with the changes out there and become attractive to prospective employers? Right. All right. So the other thing that we need, we're talking about agility, that is the adaptiveness. But one key thing that I need you to know, it's not just agility, it's being proactive in terms of adapting. Any other person can adapt, but what sets you apart from any other person, the general population, is, are you able to proactively adapt your skills, adapt the technological skills, navigate the global market, be able to work globally as it's required by the remote trends. So the other thing now, in terms of being adaptable, we asking the question, do you have the technological know-how skill? Can you adapt? Do you have the willingness and ability to engage with the new technology? Can you learn the digital tools? Meaning, if you are able to do that, then you are embracing the required change. So having that skill to navigate the digital tools also enhance your career growth, reposition you there, meaning your public profile. It's quite interesting interesting and attractive to prospective employers. Then the other thing is lifelong learning. We know careers are now becoming a lifelong learning. You need to be agile in terms of learning. So we're talking about the capacity to learn what is now in demand and unlearn those that are no longer in demand. So there is now a focus on relearning continuously, meaning employers are seeking a curious and inquisitive employee who is proactive as a learner, who can adapt through their personal development. It's no longer, like I said, we have what we call career self-management. It's no longer focused on, now I need my employer to take care of my career. You need to be proactive. You need to take steps for your personal as well as professional development. Then the last one is career navigation. So there we're looking at, now if you adapt in terms of your learning, in terms of technical use, do you have the ability to navigate to reposition your career intentionally, and especially when you're faced with uncertainty? So meaning being able to recognize the opportunities there, adjusting your career path, and building resilience during transitions. So if you see this type of study field not working for you, then it's a matter of, which other skills and knowledge do I have that I can transition into? And the moment I transition into this, these are the type of opportunities that are available for me. And we're quite repositioned and keeping abreast with the changes in terms of MindCiti platform, because when you use the build CV builder platform, you become aware of what are the opportunities that are available out there that matches the skill set that you already indicated on your CV. So I will advise you to check it out, the MindCiti CV Builder, so that you can also gauge yourself in terms of what opportunities are there. Right. So now that we know what are the key drivers that can result in your career failing, now that we know what is it that needs to happen, when as much as we're talking about what we call career adaptability, we spoke about those technology, we spoke about agile learning, we spoke about navigation. So at the end of the day, once those three key components are addressed and you are fully aware of those, then we say you've got career self-awareness. So it means you know what are your strengths and what are your developmental areas. But it doesn't end there. There's another component that is quite important, which we are also going to slightly touch on for today, but we will have another session where we will focus fully on it. So for today, we need to recognize what is it that we need to adapt. To what extent are we ready to adapt? And as soon as we address those, then we are going to be moving into what we call career wellness, career well-being. Career well-being, it will indicate to us what is within our career behavioral patterns tends to stand in our way. We call them derailers. What are your career derailers, and what can you do in terms of that? The what can you do question will be addressed in another session also, when we be looking at career adaptability. So you are going to be completing assessment on career well-being to know what are the things that tend to stand in your way and preventing you to achieve what we call career growth and career success, and limiting your opportunities out there. Then as soon as you address that, you will know what is it that you can make you an attractive person as much as your career is concerned. Right. Any question? Do we have any question? We're going to be looking at your assessment. Did you all complete? I really need to hear your voices now. Did you can unmute and say yes or no. Did you manage to complete the assessment on MindCiti Builder? Is there anyone who experienced problems? Right.
Martin, Peter, Martin, go ahead.
Yeah, I did complete some of it, the first three, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, cool. Peter, do you have any feedback so far? Okay, when you can, you will speak. Mitchell? So let us know also when you can to speak, or you did. Okay, great. And just to add also to what Mr. Jefta is saying, guys, whenever you have any needs or you would want to have an additional engagement, do not hesitate to text, okay? Do not hesitate to text or to send myself a message, and then when we can, we'll definitely reach out. So don't hesitate to have the engagement, as this is a process. Okay, Jefta, we can continue.
All right, now let's look at what is displayed there on the slide. You will see a pyramid. On the left-hand side of that is an orange box written career well-being. And to the right-hand side of it, there is an arrow, yellow arrow. Sorry, from the bottom left, there are yellow arrows pointing upwards. And towards the top, there is an arrow pointing to the left-hand side. So those arrows represent what you will ideally go through. So you will have an idea in terms of what your career is supposed to look like and what is it that you need to study and how will it look when you say I'm done. Then there are what we call activations, the things that needs to happen. And then there's agency there, also what needs to be put in. And we'll have what we call adaptive readiness, where we are going to look at, but for this to work, as much as you are able to know about your career well-being, those are the enablings or the conditions, then what are the career adaptability resources? What resources are at your disposal for one to experience that? So, that and the reason I was asking you about your assessment is your assessment will look at it in terms of the scores that you've obtained. So I know some of you indicated that you struggled in terms of completing that. So I want to advise you now and maybe visualize when you are going to take your assessment results. You will see there are 3 bars there. The red, it looks like red to me. Client is 50-year female. And then with the bottom there, we see what is written, what is called career agility. So the first block from your left-hand side, it represents technological adaptability. The middle one, the yellow one, agile learning. The last one is career navigation. So your results are also, you need to look at them in that way. Meaning you need to look at them in a way that it becomes easier for you to be able to understand them within that framework. So when you get your results, make yourself a graph like that and see where do you stand in terms of that. And I think in that way it will also help you to address some of the questions that you might be having. So let's look at that person there. This person has a score of what do you call? The first one, which is career agility. This person score is 6.7. And the second one is 6.4. Then now the last one is 6.8. Now you're asking yourself this question: what does this score mean? So we spoke about the first one, technological agility. It is the extent to which one remains confident and comfortable and adaptive to use of technological tools. So the deduction that we can make there, you see the career navigation is 6.8, is slightly higher than the 2. The second to it is 6.7. So if you were to navigate around this, you will look at it through the lens of, okay, but what does this mean for you or for this particular person? What areas of growth does this person need to focus on, which is now going to be different from person to person. So we are able to see that this person has high scores in terms of career navigation. What does that mean to us? So what it will mean to you is this person is adapt to the changing job and career environments. They are willing to scan the environment for new opportunities and to look for new opportunities to take advantage of. So here we are looking at someone who is able to actively seek career opportunities in this changing environment. They are not going to sit back and say, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I've got what it takes. They go out. They set goals for searching new opportunities to learn the new skills. So the other thing that you'll also look at or describe this person as is this person is an open-minded career adapter. Meaning this person, when you look at it through what I presented earlier, they've got a combination of the following characteristics. That one of being an agile learner and a career navigator. Then the second to it is technological adaptability, 6.7. So what it means is this person has a sense of optimism and positivity towards technological advancement, and they've got the belief that advancement and change will bring the new job and career opportunity to take advantage of. That's what I'm saying. This person doesn't sit back. They know they've got the skills. They know if you say, okay, here's an opportunity, they will be able to apply themselves. So we call this, if someone scores high in terms of technological adaptability, we call this person to have a future fit career adapter. What it means is there is a combination of agile learning and technological adaptability. So I asked you to look at the agency. When you look at the agency also, you will see that the activated agency there is that this person is motivated and engaged in embracing technological advancement and change. And this person, they are willing to upskill themselves to be successful in changing a job or a career environment. They are not threatened by, will I make it or not? Will I be successful or not? So that's the first, those 2 points. Then the one in the middle, you will also see it's agile learning. This person has almost the same energy, and drive to set and manage the achievement of career goals, meaning they actively search for opportunities to learn new skills to improve their career and job success. So that's how you go about it. When you get your results, please look at them through that lens. So now, if you've got to analyze those results, you'll see the career agility being the dominant type, future fit career adapter, meaning this person is strong in agile learning and technological adaptability. Their high agency enables strong adaptive readiness for technological change and learning new skills. Area for growth for this person in these circumstances will be searching for gaps in the market that she could fill in very different ways, in unique ways, meaning actively setting career goals. So it will be now very interesting to see what if this person scores almost the same for these 3 components of career adaptability, meaning this person can adapt, they're quite resilient. You can put them in any situation, they are going to learn fast and make a success of it. But now you will also be like me and ask yourself question, does this person not have a developmental area? Is this person made to make it in life? So these results on their own, they do not determine everything, adaptability in all aspects. So there are other things that needs to be addressed, such as self-awareness in terms of career well-being. How is the career well-being of this person? Meaning, what are the derailers and the things that can stand in your way, and what are the things that can also boost the skills that you're already having? So that's why it's important to complete the assessment on career adaptability, agility, then complete the one on career well-being, and complete the last one on career adaptability. So this one we interpreted what I presented on. And you will also see on that this person's score in terms of their career well-being assessment is on positive psychosocial well-being condition, meaning there is a personal ownership of career. They are stable, which enables them to be adaptive. So as soon as one gets to see, but you know what, I'm adaptable, but what is the one thing for sure that can help me to enhance, to do more, is that the high score in terms of what we call, let me look at this. I'm not, yeah, in terms of their career well-being, you will see these affective, the pink one, there is affective state, there is career meaningfulness, there is networking or social support. So the positivity, the first one speaks to how, to what an extent are you positive? Are you positive about your career? To what an extent do you derive meaning? The next, the middle one, the orange one, in terms of your career. And the last one, the support that you get when you are pursuing that. So you will also notice the bigger column there, it's the one that is in the middle. That is career meaningfulness. It means this person perceive or consider their career to be meaningful to them. That's why they are adaptive, because they get a sense of value, a sense of meaning. And then take note that this person we are talking about is a 50-year-old female. So we are now able to see also their results are corresponding in terms of the other facets of career well-being. The first one, affective state, speaks of positive feelings about their career growth and progress, and as well as the support, the resources. So it means this person experience positive feeling about what they are, their career. So what you will notice there is this is high score. A high score is anything that is greater than 4, any value that is higher than 4, above 4. So this person, in terms of the first bar, the pinkish one, it's affective state for well-being. It's high. What we see there is positive emotions about the state of support they get, the resources, and the opportunity for the new skills learning, which help them build what we call psychosocial resources for adaptive purposes. So again, if that particular column of that was lower than 4, what it will mean for this person is they will feel probably career growth. They'll feel like the career growth has still stifled a bit, maybe in need of a greater level of support and resources to become motivated to learn new skills and to sustain their employability. So, but now, because it's not low, it's high, that's why they're experiencing positive emotion about the state of support. Right. Then we look at the middle one, which is the one that is higher, career meaningfulness. That is the positive views about their career. How do they see how does she see her career? She sees her career as interesting, as worthwhile, and valuable, and contributing to the larger life purpose. So that's high score there. It means this person experiences positive cognitions that activates their positive emotions in terms of they can positively identify with the type of career that they are doing. And then the other thing is when they look for employment, unlike someone who doesn't have trust in terms of their skills, this one, they've got a high sense of career meaningfulness. If that, for example, it was low, that score was low, then we will be talking about someone who may not identify themselves with the job or the career. They may feel stuck and may feel like their career is not meaningful or adaptive. They do not show adaptive readiness, meaning they feel like, okay, there is an emotional strain about perceived lack of meaningfulness, and they may need what we call narrative reframing. So they need career counseling services for that. Right. Then we look at the last one there, which is networking or social support. That one is also relatively high in relation to the three, to the two, meaning this person, she's feeling confident about establishing and gaining support for achieving of career goals from a social network or a community. They belong to a certain affiliation group, meaning what they do, they see the contribution that it will make. So the high score, which is greater than 4, will mean what we call, she's quite confident in terms of her networking cycles. She has the capability to support career goals. She's self-confidence. Her self-confidence in this regard is important because it activates positive emotional state of career well-being and her adaptive readiness. So we're talking about someone who knows herself, someone who knows what they are in for and where is it going to contribute. Suppose this person had low scores in terms of that, then we'll be looking at someone who lack confidence in connecting socially with other people to form social network for career support, meaning they may need career education and career coaching and narrative reframing. Because one thing for sure with lack of low self-esteem or confidence is that you are going to struggle, likely to struggle because there will be lack of networking capabilities, which may, at the end of the day, stifle your career adaptive readiness. So that, on its own, in a nutshell, you are looking at someone who is career agile. They've got the highest level of career adaptability, agility. They can adapt. They can proactively plan, proactively keep up with the change technologically, in terms of learning, in terms of also, what do you call this, navigating. And then when you look at what could be standing in their way, or what could be, is there anything that is likely to stand in the way of this person or not? Based on the her results, we can see there's nothing that is standing in her way. In actual fact, what makes her become more adaptable, it has to do with what we call the 3 elements: feeling positive about her career, finding meaning, knowing that what I'm doing is important, and also getting the support and to pursue this type of career, and knowing that as soon as I'm done, or as soon when I say I've made it, it means this is so much that I'll be contributing to the greater social network that they belong to. Right. So we've covered that. But now, and I'm sure some of you might be asking the questions. We just saw a profile of a 50-year-old person whose career agile, who's ready, who is proactive. They are curious of what skills are there, which technological tools are there they need to keep up with, how do they navigate, search for opportunities. And one thing for sure is this person, again, in terms of their career well-being, surely she is confident about her skill set, about her knowledge, skills, abilities, and characteristics, which set her apart from the rest, the general population. So, and again, we just made a deduction that based on her results, she's positive about what she's doing. She's positive. She attached so much value in it, and she belongs, or she foresee that completing this or pursuing this career will add value to a greater social network. And she's 50 years old. Surely some of you might be asking this question: how passionate is this person? What strategy did this person put in place? But I want to challenge you now. We've been used to the old adage of old saying of the one saying, if you are passionate about something, passion is the key for career success. So I want to challenge you now that After we've analyzed this profile, after I've presented this to you, at this point, you really need to understand that it's not, passion alone does not determine, or it's not a good predictor of your career success. You need passion, you need to be passionate, and to augment that, you need to supplement that, you need strategy, career strategy, which is now what I'm going to be talking to you briefly. To say, be passionate, know yourself, know your skill set, but have a good career strategy. Because the reason most of the careers fail, it's because one is content, one is quite positive to say, I'm passionate. Why are you studying this? Why are you doing this? Because I'm passionate about this. But okay, if you're passionate, but 2 years to come, how are you going to turn this passion? Not 2 years to come, 2 years is far. Months to come, how are you going to turn this passion into a reality? You need a strategy for that. So you need a plan, and coupled with that plan is you need accountability. You need a plan, you need to be accountable, you need systems to be in place. You need people that you can check in with, people that can also help you to be accountable. And you need to make smart goals. Smart goals, we're talking about you building habits, you getting into a point of, is this career specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable, acceptable? Is it realistic? And can I attach a time frame for that? Well, I'm quite confident to say with MindCiti, we've got assessment that can help you to gauge where you are in terms of career adaptability, highlights the positives, the strength, and the developmental areas you need in order to respond to the evolving world of work and to remain career agile, as well as being adaptable out there. Right. So that's my presentation in a nutshell, and I encourage you to make use of the assessments that we uploaded there. So in recap, we know you need a career strategy, but strategies, they fail because they are vague. You need to follow the SMART principles: specific, measurable, acceptable or attainable, realistic, and the time frame. So build a plan. MindCiti can be able to capture your progress, your project. You go in there, you type in what project you are starting, from which date until when, and then it will guide you step by step in terms of what needs to happen. And that's one thing for sure that can keep you accountable. Right. Thank you so much for your time. I am now done, and I want to encourage you to do the career well-being as well as to complete the career adaptability. Kim will send you the link to the career adaptability, but you need those assessments so that you are ready for the next session. Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Japta. Appreciate that. And thank you for those that stuck until the end. We will make the content available again on our platform for you to go and access. And I encourage you guys to do a lot of reflection within your process. We will be done with a couple of discoveries this week. And then next week, you should then, if you've already started, great. We should then look at, you have content on LinkedIn, tips how to maximize your LinkedIn profile, what you should actually do, and we would encourage you to share your LinkedIn profiles on the group so that we can connect and engage with each other, and we can also do some reviews there for you. And then you will also be expected to complete your CVs on MindCiti Builder. And then once you have completed that, we will also spend time reviewing what you would have done so that we can give you feedback as well as building onto your portfolio. But these are very important sessions, and the surveys, the assessment, understand that they are there to help you self-reflect and to help you make that change, starting to make progressive change over time. So thank you very much. This is on time. Again, I will share it onto the group as well. And thank you, Jafta, for this. And yeah, you guys will have it available onto the platform for you to just go through it again any given time. Okay. All right. Good. So let's meet again on the group and via email. Have a good evening, guys. Good.